I'm live. Just remember, comments need to abide by guidelines. Yeah, gotcha. Live chat. There we go. I was just talking to Dwayne a second ago. He said he was going to be here. Let's see who makes it first. If anybody makes it first. Let's see. See if notifications go out. Okay, I guess notifications aren't going out. Let's see. Can I change? What's my settings here? Share. There we go. Well, I found a way to kind of, you guys should get a thing that says I'm live. Because, like, literally says I'm live, because I just found a button. Button. Who's got the button? First, I have to make coffee. Shh. Go away, cat. I don't want to feed you. So, guys, I want to apologize, not to the individual last night, to you guys for dragging you along on that rant. And then I took it down, not because of the content, but because it was horrible quality. The video was horrible quality. So somebody just sent me something. Hang on a second. Somebody just posted. I can't tell. I can't read it right now. I had a thing. I was trying to catch a notification from somebody. What's up, guys? So when I told you guys stuff was going to go on hold, I didn't know how long it's going to take to do those Isham knives. I did 2 of them yesterday afternoon. It really didn't take as long as I had thought. I figured they were going to be a lot more difficult to do. And so basically yesterday, that's all I worked on. Today for the morning, I just got out of the shower. Literally just got out of the shower. And I don't feel great today. I woke up and I felt not sick, but like last night, like I went to bed early. I was in bed and asleep by 9 last night. I just felt bad yesterday afternoon. Maybe it's from being angry for so many hours, but I think I can do it. They can wear you out. I just don't feel great today. So I woke up and had sweat clear through the t-shirt I was wearing, and I took the pillowcase off my pillow because I sweat clear through my pillowcase, and my pillow is currently drying. I don't know if I was having nightmares or what. So I've opened the box. I kind of know what's in here, but I forgot. This guy sends me, when he sends me stuff, he sends me a lot of stuff. So let's see what Jose sent me. So I have a Hinderer that's in another box as well. So we are going to do a Grinsmo Norseman, as high as I can take it, a Strider SGN, a Hinderer 3-inch XM30, a Hinderer 3.5-inch XM30, a Boker Quaken, and a Shirogorov 95 Tango. That's what's in this box. Well, he ran out of room. He sent 2 boxes. The other one showed up the other day. Let's see. What's in this? Okay. So there's the Boker Quaken. I like the lines in this knife. I don't like the way it feels in hand. I had the one that Dwayne had here that I did. It was Dwayne, was yours just like this, or was yours titanium? I can't remember, but I did a fire and brimstone on it. They have weirdness to them. Like this one has a catch. So there's that. Guys, I saw a post. Apparently somebody is is copying the Norseman's. They're doing knockoffs. That's a real one. D10 on this one is. This is one of the new ones. That's why it feels different. These ones have a lock bar insert. This is one of the ones with a new lock bar insert in it. I haven't seen one of these yet. Because usually D10 on them is a little, I was like, that sounds, hear that? Sounds different. So John and Eric started putting, this one is number 1275. So there's that one. Let's see what else is in this. He didn't. That's hard on finishes. I'm going to pack these up individually here shortly. So that's the XM30 full finger choil. These, I remember I had a Hinder XM18. And it would not flip. You couldn't flip it. So yeah, guys, I'm sorry about like dragging you guys along on that rant yesterday, but I was in a bad mood. So we're not even gonna discuss it. I blocked him. It's just how I handle it. It just, I got a bee in my bonnet over it. I apologize for dragging you guys along over a fucking something that petty. But I take it personal. Oh, somebody has went to town on that with something. Yeah. S30V. So it's a Strider lock stick. It's a real one. It's a real one. It's got lock stick. It's not. I'm not picking when I said it. It's just that's. Have you done a Hinder fatty? I'm curious. Yes, they are a little different. The fatties are a little different. They're just. I mean, they're real similar. That one, and I've done a couple of Harpoon. What was in here again? That was the Quaken. Okay. I am going to consolidate these because I don't like the idea of that one being, it's the one with the most elegant finish. So that one will go, and these ones can go back in the box in here. And bubble wrap. There we go. Okay, so that's there. I have Rasanti. Wish I could send you a few. I've done it, but the problem is it would have to be knives you would be comfortable putting back together. That's the thing. It would have to be knives that you've taken apart or put back together. I would have to send the handles and the blade separate. I've done it. There's a way around it. There's a way around so many things. I've not yet made my coffee. About to partake in the most widely used and most addictive recreational drug there is. Caffeine. You guys, did you guys know that? So like when somebody says that they need a cup of coffee or they're grumpy before their cup of coffee or they don't function without coffee, it's not a lie. They're just an addict. But if used in moderation, it's actually a very beneficial drug. What's up, Ben? Ben, did you get my message about the razors? I haven't bought a razor in so long. I don't remember if we talked about it. I know you sent me a message. I haven't looked at buying razors in so long. I'm not going to be the best person to tell you what a good straight razor sub 200 would be. I know that Dovo makes a lot of really good ones that are sub 200. A lot of times, though, they need to immediately be sharpened. Yeah, I just didn't remember if you were there. So, and have you ever had chocolate covered espresso beans? Yes. You want to hear a story about those? We were in Hong Kong, and I did not know. I thought they were. One of the guys had this bag, and we've been eating them, and he's like, dude, he had been eating them. He's like, dude, I don't like them. He's like, do you want to try these GM1? And I was like, we were in Hong Kong. I was like, yeah, sure. And I ate a couple. I was like, man, those are delicious. They taste like coffee. I did not realize what was in the middle of that chocolate was actual espresso beans. And I ate the entire fucking bag. And I was like, guys, I really, really feel weird. And the guys were like, did you eat all those? I was like, yeah, it was just chocolate. Why do I feel so weird? Like my stomach feels weird. And I was like, what the fuck? And I was like, all just jittery. I was like, the guys were like, you just ate an entire bag of fucking coffee beans. I was like, what? Those are delicious. I loved them. And we're like, Jesus Christ, he's gonna be up like, and we were drinking beer and they're like, oh fuck, great. GM1 is fucking drunk and wired. This is gonna be interesting. And they're like, somebody's got to babysit him. We have created a juggernaut. So apparently the president is talking about something. I will catch it later. That was one of the times that my junior guys had to babysit me. He's gonna fucking do something. He's gonna do something bad. So I need to throw this one in with sharpening before too long because so many people handle my knives. I've come to the conclusion, I was thinking about it, I haven't carried this knife in a while. And so many people handle my knives though at like shows and I had like people that have not seen my edges and things like that. I usually have my case if I'm at Firm Forge on Friday nights because there's always people that show up and they're like, oh, this is Emily from the Emler Edge on the website. And so I carried this yesterday and I was cutting something. I was like, there's a spot where it's cutting, then it stopped. And I was like, what the fuck is wrong with my Archbishop? It's got a complete section of flat edge from there to there and a chip right there in the heel. So I'm not gonna blame anybody. It's my own fault. I do that. I take them places. I take them to shows. I show them to people to show off what I do. And that's, you know, it's gonna be expected. So I've got to pull. I have to pull a new choice for today. The Malice is amazing. I have to pull a new choice for the day. Give me a second. What is today? It's Wednesday, right? It's Warny Wednesday. Just checking these to make sure that nobody's. Yeah, somebody dinked the tip on this one too. Which is fine. I mean, it goes with the territory. Guys, like custom knife makers' knives get fucked up at tables all the time. Well, there's kind of a reason I'm gonna do this. There's a video I'm gonna shoot today. I'll give you guys a preview, but hang on a second, because I've got this thing's badass brother. So this knife came to me from Aegis Solutions Knife Care, LLC. If you guys know, that's the company that Jim Skelton bought, the EDC. The EDC spray. I have the Deadpool knife in my hand. And this was another one that, like, this is where I kind of took inspiration for subtlety in making a superhero knife. So I have two of the baddest fucking Master Blasters here at the house. So we're gonna look at that one today, probably. So Jim sent that to me. I was on a DM with him, and I was like, hey, I never got to sharpen it, never did that. The Mandalorian one, a badass too. And then, but I'm saying as far as like when you're talking about like the subtleties of that, like you look at that and people are like, I don't like enough people have seen it, they know that's the Deadpool knife. But has everyone gotten to see the finished Judge Dredd? Because I did it subtle. I did it subtle. We can go get it. We just have to be quiet because my wife is sleeping. Give me just a second. Get it. I wanted it to be subtle enough that you would look at it and go, it reminds me of something, but not enough that you would be like, well, that's Chris and Elliot are the ones that taught me how to do this shit. Hang on. I forgot to grab this too. There has been, the last 3 days, there have been, the police are trying to find a couple people in my neighborhood. Someone stole a car at gunpoint, and the same 2 people have been on camera from 3 different places breaking into cars and shit like that. But they also have been like in my neighborhood, like are looking in and around houses and stuff. It's been reported. So we have 2 bad actors, and I'm pretty sure that will solve their problems. I am the personal belief that criminal activity is because of a severe lead deficiency in their system. And all they need to do is kick in the door to my house and I'll rectify their situation. I will solve that problem for them because they will have no deficiency of lead. Because there's a ball, there's one of these, and then there's a hollow point. And that's how this mag is stacked. See, so we've got rip, hollow point, ball. Ball's in the chamber, followed by a rip round, followed by a hollow point. Prescription. Oh, you guys want to see the knife, don't you? I'm playing. I was playing. That was funny. Somebody hadn't seen it and said they wanted to. So bronze for like his shoulder plating, and then bronze hardware, red for the chevrons on his helmet, red fuller on the blade. I did finally sharpen it. It's sharp, but it's a thick blade. It will never be really slicey. I only took it to, I took it to 1,000 grit and then stropped it so that it's, but yeah, it's hair popping sharp. I could lather up and shave with it, but it's a really thick blade, so it wouldn't do a very good job. Jesus. They can't make up their mind about this weather. It's been raining all morning, and now all of a sudden the sun's out again. So that may play. It's supposed to have heavy rain today. If it rains real hard today, there will be delays. I can't do the sharpening. I did the sharpening yesterday at the kitchen sink, and my wife was less than pleased. And so I thought I could get away with it, but I thought I cleaned it up real well, and she was like, "What is all this shit?" So Dwayne, you were absolutely correct. Absolutely correct. There was gonna be an angry Japanese chick at the house. So I have to, the last time I had this part, I refinished it. I didn't tension my lock bar enough. So my lock bar tension's a little weak. So the action on this is kind of, it's my fault. So I'm gonna take this apart today, kick that lock bar over just a little bit. And I don't think I'm gonna be refinishing this any more hours. How many hours did I put into that Judge? Lots. That's why there's a guy that says he wants to buy it. He caught me in the live feed. He said, "Hey, don't put that on Arizona Custom Knives. I want to buy it." I was like, "Okay, but I have to figure out," because I mean, I'm into it for, yeah, see, it's still trying to rain and be nasty out there. I'm into it for a lot of hours. So, and I'm not gonna pull any punches. I'm gonna sell it for more than a standard more than a standard ADV. So, because this is a one of a kind piece, it's been, you know, all the hot spots are gone. I took out all that jimping there and rounded it over. I took the most of the hot spot, you know, some of it you still can't unless I just cut that down completely smooth, but I like the look of it, so I didn't want to mess with that. Most of the hot spots on that, though, I rounded over on a Scotch-Brite wheel. All of that really aggressive jimping that was inside the lock bar. So I'm thinking I've got at least, you know, it took me, okay, so the bronze on it, let's put it this way. That hand rub bronze took me about 2 hours per scale, just playing with it, bullshitting and talking and drinking beer and cleaning it up and then anodizing. I want to say it took, I went to Matt's 2 or 3 times. I had to remask this so I could do the black. So I know it took me weeks to do it. There were 2 full videos. So that last video of the work I did, that footage is going to go in whatever the next video I do is. It'll be at the end. It'd be like B-roll stuff because there was no way to film what I was doing. All I did was, this was already masked and I blasted that off. And there was a lot of the masking stuff you guys didn't see. It takes hours to get these masked off to get a good clean line. Because it's not like Cerakote where you can do a layer over a layer and then just wipe it off and stuff like that. It's not like that. It's way more difficult to get that with the liquid stuff. So we have to mask stuff off and then blast and anodize and stuff like that. So Daryl Ralph, I talked to Daryl Ralph this morning. He posted up a picture and I was like, bro, I'm stealing that. And it was Keanu Reeves walking with Pitbull. And he said, the caption was, if nobody hates you, you're doing something wrong. And that was what made me, I was like, you know what, why am I throwing all this shit about, you know, the guy that just decided to troll me. So what I did was I reported him to Google, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, Snapchat, and Twitter. Just report it, because here's the thing, people forget. I used to work for the government and I know how to find out information. I did background checks. Now, I don't have all the tools available to me, but the thing that I did have was a phone number. And so I just reported it, that this guy's being, you know, I didn't want to be threatening or anything. And I did post up a couple things that may have been misconstrued as threatening, but it was basically saying the same thing. Have you ever seen someone do black on tie with WD-40 and heat? Yeah, it doesn't look good. It doesn't look good and it doesn't last. The ceramic lasts. We're on 3 years. I have not, this is the original ceramic that was on this knife when I bought it from Elliot. It has some scratches on the spine and I used this knife to clean battery terminals on a tractor or Ford. I'm pretty sure it was a tractor. I was trying to start the tractor. Battery terminals on a tractor. I scraped the back of them with the blade of that knife, and that's all the damage it did to the ceramic. You do that on tie and it winds up being a lot like anodizing. It scratches really easy. That does not. Anybody that I've ceramic coated a knife for, no, I have seen it done, but it's not going to be something that would hold up. Now, like Dwayne said, I did a black wash on his where I did black and then I tumbled it and it cleaned off specific areas, little areas of where the titanium was bare, and then I went back and put bronze on that. And I'm going to do the same thing with this. You can see I've worn the ceramic off of that where there's some bare titanium all around, and I am going to, I've worn the anodizing off the pocket clip. This has never worn. That's deep enough that green has stayed. So you want to see my favorite knife that I carry, my actual favorite knife that I carry? You guys are probably gonna think it's funny. I don't think it's in here. Well, I have my second favorite knife I carry, and I have to force myself not to carry it. And that's my Buck. My Buccaneer. My Farron Forge Buck. or sorry, my mass drop buck. It's this one. This one I have to make myself not carry it, and it's hard not to, because it's a really good all-around knife. It's really nice and small. It's a nice tight package. It's not heavy, and it's just balanced just right. And it's like my favorite knife to carry. So I have to make myself, and it's so smooth. It has gotten Grimsmo smooth. It's going in my pocket right now, as a matter of fact. So I don't have a knife in my pocket right now. I'll still have room for this one. Say what? Buck and Dow. I have a couple ideas. I'm gonna do, Chris calls it his Tron finish. So I'm gonna do a color down in, and then I'm not sure how we wanna do it. It's up to you. If you want something that's gonna be robust, I need to do 2 different colors of ceramic, or anodize down inside, so I'll have to mask everything off and anodize down inside, and have color on top. But if it ever fucking wears out, it's gonna be hard to duplicate. And then there's other options where I could do ceramic down inside and then another color ceramic on top. I was thinking black and turquoise down in and black on top. Or, you know, it just depends. We would have to take a good hard look at it. So, and then I've got, before I even start on any of these knives here, I've got a customer I've got to reach out to, Zach, about a set. Well, the problem you're going to have is this one and the Falcon are not going to have the elaborate designs that would facilitate doing the same thing on all of them. Stay. Oh, fuck it, never mind. The Buck had some cool designs that came out, but I don't think the Crux ever really had anything special. Which is another amazing knife too for the price. They really are. But I've had to tell people. I've had people like let me put this away. Let me think how I want to word this. So I've had customers that ask for elaborate finishes on these knives and on these Ferrum Forge knives, like the Buck and the Falcon and things like that. And you know, I try not to be a dick about it. So I'm trying to word it so I don't sound like a dick. I've had customers that will send me those knives, or will contact me about those knives, and they're like, hey, I wanted to do this, I wanted to make it look like this, and then they'll question the price. And I have, for like 2 people, lowered the price because they were like, yeah, but you know, I want it to look like this. And they're like, wow, that's as much as I paid for the knife, but this is my first high-end knife. I'm like, here's the thing. It's not a high-end knife. They are quality knives. They're really quality knives, but they are not a high-end knife. You're looking at a knife that is just around $100. And so with that being said, if you're contacting me, my minimum price for a refinish is $100. That's just what it is, because I have to drive it there, I have to take it apart, I have to do the work, I have to prep it, I have to do that. And then people are like, well, I watched a video about anodizing, it doesn't look that hard. It doesn't look that... The anodizing itself is not that hard, and none of the steps individually are hard. It's just the fact they all have to be done exactly the right way, exactly the same way every time. And therein lies why it costs much. Because there's times it will take me all day to do blast, take everything off, tumble to get the surface finish we want, etch, ano, miss the color, go back, start over. Because there's a couple colors on there that it's a matter of 1 volt difference, and you could miss it. Like, it's a service. And people are like, well, I watched the video. And I was like, you know, I had one guy, and I feel bad-ish. I had one guy that was questioning. He's like, I watched the video. It's pretty straightforward. I don't know why you couldn't do it for that price. And I'm like, well, here's the thing. He's like, well, I bought an anno rig, and I was like, great. You know what? I'm sending you back your money, and I'm sending your knife. I don't want to deal with this. I did this work for you once, and I'm redoing it again, and now you want me to do it for even less than I did it the first time. So you know what? Here's the deal. I'm sending you back your $50, and I'm sending you your knife. Because what I wasn't saying is, the guy he said he wasn't, but the guy was condescending. And so I just basically said, no, I'm sending it back. I'm not dealing with this. Well, I need the money. I don't need the money that bad. Not all money is good, and the customer is not always right. If you're at a restaurant, the customer is always right. But if you're dealing with a service like this, the customer's not always right. I've had customers send me things, and I've told them, I was like, look, here's the deal. You don't want what you think you want. This is what you think you want, but I'm gonna tell you right now, it's not gonna come out the way you're thinking. In your head, it looks like this. In reality, it's gonna look like a Dr. Seuss book. And so, you know, you gotta, or you'll have a customer that doesn't know what they want, and you kind of have to lead them in the right direction. I wanna do something, but I don't know what. Okay, well, let me think on it. Maybe we just do something subtle, you know? Was that, somebody said something. I don't haggle on price. I know I usually put more time in it than, yes, and I do. I don't. Yeah, if they had a lightsaber and a juggernaut, I don't, for the crux, right? Yeah, but the thing is, they wouldn't all be the same. Like, I would not do a lightsaber or a crux, a juggernaut, I mean, the same way I would do, like, the circuit board pattern, Dow. They wouldn't look good the same way. So you know what I mean? So guys, it's been like 30 minutes. I've got stuff I've got to do. I'm gonna get off of here. Appreciate you guys showing up. I will talk to y'all later. I might do another live feed while I'm working. We'll see how I feel. It depends on how I feel whether any work actually even happens. And it depends on the weather too. If it's raining really hard, I'm not going out there with that stuff. Did you see the Gold Dragon Damascus? Yes, I did see that knife that Jim did. Hey man, I understand where you're coming from, but I don't think that you actually were picking up exactly what I was saying. You know what I mean, Luke? I don't think we either one were on the same wavelength. It does. It happens because here's the thing. You and I are both very passionate people. Passionate about what we do, passionate about what we believe in, passionate about our business, and passionate about our friends. So I don't feel good today, though. I feel a headache brewing. So there's a chance. There's a chance that I may get started on those and then just realize it's not gonna happen. Guys, there's another thing to this too. There are just some days that like you'll start something and it's just not there. And especially with the sharpening. Yeah, but if you're sharpening, I will put a knife to a stone, and what I'll probably do is I'll judge it by doing something of mine because I know I need to sharpen this. I've got that already. I'm like, I don't feel right. And if I go out there and it doesn't, there's just days where you just can't do it. You're like, I can't do it. I'm gonna fuck something up. And you know real quick what kind of day it's gonna be. There's days that I go up to the shop and I have every intention of making a knife, and I'll get to the grinder and I'll just grab a piece of scrap and just do a quick test, and I'm like, I can't keep this angle straight. I was like, I can't keep this angle straight. I should not do this. And there's times I've been up to the shop with big intentions of being up there all day on a fucking Thursday and just grinding knives and doing heat treat, and I'll get up there and I'll start the heat treat and I'll start to grind, and I'm like something that's already heat treated, and I'm like, nope, it's not happening today. I'm gonna fuck this up. And then I'll just go and I will fucking, a lot of times I'll ask Elliot, I was like, hey, can you watch the stuff in heat treat? Do you care? Do you mind just pulling it out? It's already did the critical, it's temper. He's like, well, how much lines I got? It's got like 2 hours. He's like, yeah, no problem. And I'll just put it out and he'll just set it there, and then I'll peel them out of the packets, you know, or I'll clean them up when I come in the next time. Because there's just times that you can't. Especially like, if I was in an office job, I got news for you. There were days that it happened when I worked for the government. I might keep this going for a little bit. I'm bored. And I can't go out there yet because it just started raining again. So there was days, not gonna lie to you, where a typical government bureaucrat, there were days where I would come in and I'd just fuck around on my phone because I just couldn't. But the thing is, I worked for somebody else and I got paid for that time. The problem I have with it is days like today where I have a sneaking suspicion that I feel off and it's gonna just make it difficult to do things, where I've learned that it's just sometimes better just to take that day and just work on Sunday. So, but I do need to get Elijah's stuff done because he's got to have them before Blade Show. So that's the thing. And then you guys' stuff is here. There's a lot of stuff that showed up here recently. But luckily, like I said, those double-edged daggers did not take near as long. You want to see one? They didn't take near as long as I thought they were going to. I got 2 of them done yesterday afternoon, and I didn't even get home till 3. So I think I got home around 3:30, and I got 2 of them done by 5. So, you know, that's not bad when you're considering that's equivalent to 4 knives, basically I did. Let me go get them. So I talked to Elijah about these yesterday. We talked on the phone for about, I just wanted to, you know, make sure I knew where I was shipping them and all that stuff. And so yesterday, I told him yesterday, I was like, hey, he wants cards in them and stuff like that. So I looked at him, I got him here, and I told him, I was like, hey, I got to take him up. And my plan was I was going to grind them. I was going to grind this edge on them. And then I saw how fine the blade is. And I was like even that, so this didn't have an edge. The spine didn't have an edge on it. And what the plan was, I was going to grind the edge on, but I got to looking at how thin this was at the tip. And the problem was I couldn't do them on my stones. I looked at them and I was like, they were thin enough here. Everywhere down to here, they were thin enough from where this finger is to here. It's thin enough I could have done on my stones. But they had grown, they had a thick spot here that they had left at the tip. And I was like, I can't do that on my stones. It was just too thick. And I was like, fuck me. So the plan was I was gonna put them on a 220 grit belt and just cut an edge on them. But the fact is, I got to looking at them, I was like, these are too, woo! It is so fucking piercing. And this is the thing about this. Let me show you how fine the tip is on this. This is why it's nerve-wracking and time-consuming. Let go of that. That tip is just almost non-existent. And so to marry those 2 edges together, I just asked Elliot, I was like, Elliot, can you do me a favor and save me a fucking nightmare? He goes, yeah, what? I was like, can you just put an edge on the back of these? He's like, I was like, nothing fancy. I just need it apexed. I can do it after that. It actually drew blood. I just barely touched the tip of that and it drew blood. And so I was like, he's like, yeah, fuck yeah, I can do that for you. He's like, it's not, it's like, it's a straight edge. It's pretty simple. I was like, I just don't trust my ability to grind that edge on there. I was like, I could do it on my stones, but I'm gonna fucking ruin, to do these 4 knives, I'm gonna ruin a stone, the coarse stone. He's like, yeah, don't fucking work smarter, not harder. So he tossed them on the grinder real quick, and then Elijah was like, make sure you put cards in. He's like, put a couple cards in each box. And I told him, and I made sure that he knew that Elliot ground the edge. And he was like, make sure you tell Elliot I said thank you. But the whole thing was like, Elliot didn't do it for him. Elliot did it for me as a favor, just to save me. I could have done it on the stones. But one, it would have taken me hours per. How much do I usually do blast and tumble without sharpening? That's a weird one. I'd have to look it up. I haven't done that for a while. I used to do a per part price, which was a little bit more. So if you did per part and then you added it up, if I did all the parts, it'd be way more than if I did the whole thing. I'm trying to remember what my per part price was that I had. I haven't done it in so long. I haven't had anybody just send me a part. So I don't know. Shoot me an email, Chase. I'll think about it. I can't off the top of my head remember what I charged the last time I did that. I did 2 parts, and I think it wound up being, yeah, I'm thinking too. I think it was like 35. I think that's right, because I think I did 2 parts for Guy, and it wound up being $70. I think I did a backspacer and a blade, and I just charged per part. Now, if I was doing ceramic, it still would wind up being close to the same prices. The same price as a full refinish. It'd be really close to it. If you wanted like a black blade without sharpening, it still would be close to 100, because there's more involved with the ceramic than there is with just blast and tumble. It's just something we'd have to work out, and I'd have to look at my workload and shit and see how long it would take and all that. So just shoot me an email. I'm thinking you're right. I think that's what I was charging. It was about $35. And then there's going to be a video. I'm not sure if it's going to be Jim Skelton's video or this that's going up today. I have not decided what video I'm going to do today, but I do have to do those. I have to do those daggers. So I told, well, here's the thing. When I was talking to Elijah, those knives, he meant that entire thing to just be a satire. It was a joke. They're not functional. He knows they're not. They were named the way they were as a joke. The whole knife was meant to be just satire and humor. And he did a pretty good job with coming up with that design. And Kaiser did a really good, Kaiser does good execution. So they're interesting. There's one of them, he and I were talking about it. There was one of them that all of them had this weird little dip at the tip where it curved in, almost recurved. And one of them was enough that when we did the edge on the back of that, when Elliot ground it, and then I looked at it, you could see that one doesn't have that piercing tip. That one's more squared off. And it was pretty squared off to begin with, and it's because the grind kicked in closer to the spine, and it's had some weirdness to it. So it came from Kaiser like that, pretty much. So I let him know ahead of time on that. So, but those are he's doing these just for Blade Show. These are just to be humorous. I like this. This is the first integral that I've had here that I liked. I really need to take this. Is this my tools? While we're talking, I'm gonna take my Master Blaster apart. I'm gonna adjust that fucking lock bar tension. It's bothering me, because what it is as well is when your lock bar tension, when you don't get your lock bar tension right, I start to get lock slip, because it's not locking up where it's supposed to. The lock is supposed to stay over at a certain point, and this one, my fault. It's 100% my fault. Let me see. Is this the right size for that? It is not. So let's take my... I just don't like integrals because they come with their own laundry list of problems, especially to refinish. If you want an integral refinished, a lock bar one, or a frame lock one, not as bad. The goddamn Anthem from Benchmade, it's a freaking nightmare. I didn't Loctite that the last time I took this thing apart. I need my T8. I'll take it however I can get it. So we're gonna get a cup. Use a cup, because there's nothing worse than setting something down and have it not be there when you come back to it. So I hear my wife's alarm going off, so she's probably getting up soon. She's got to go to work. Later, Shadow. Get that off of there. You come back here, slimy little sneaky motherfucker. Ooh, it's dirty. She's dirty. There we go. That should be just enough. Did I bring your knife in? Yeah, your knife is in here. I brought it in because it's in the sharpening only section now, because it just sharpened. It is right here, buddy. Oop, orientation is locked. I turned you guys too far. It's got handprints and oils on it. It's stiff, but there's the blade, and that's not here. Let me turn this around. That's just oil. That's not in the finish. That's just hand oil and stuff like that. From where I washed it off, there's some spots. There. So it needs cleaned up still. It didn't get cleaned up the last time it came back from the shop. Let's wipe that on there. Let's get some light on it. Is that what you were looking for? That finish where it's kind of a gunmetal but polished? But you can see some of the grind lines still show up. How's it look? What are your thoughts, Mr. I like that finish. That finish looks good on that knife. A stone wash, like if I'd done a blast and tumbled stone wash, it wouldn't look the same. Let me wipe that off. Oh, that's the liquid from the tumble media. I didn't get it all washed off when I did it, but the edge is so fucked right now. It tumbled. It is just, that whole edge is just a straight line. So, and it's stiff, bro. It is so stiff. By the time you get it centered, did you notice that when you get the blade centered, that the action is so fucking stiff? And then, like I said, I want to get your take on it. I can always take it back up. There's some scratches on that butt piece where the tool slipped. It was so tight the first time I took it apart, that tool slipped. And I tried it twice and I was like, I've got to grab a pair of pliers and pull that off. I can just toss that in my bag when I go up after I sharpen it and just take that piece out and then take that piece out and just blast it and give it a quick tumble when I tumble some other stuff. That should do it. That should be enough lock bar tension for that. Put that other set of bearings on here. Come here. Come here. Okay, so guys, some people ask me about bearings in Ferrum Forged knives. Does the direction really matter? And it really doesn't. It's not going to affect, like there's some knives you put the bearings in backwards and it affects your actual blade position. So the Ferrum Forged bearings, just so that you guys know, while I've got you guys here and we're talking about it. So the Ferrum Forged bearings have one side that is, it's basically a U-shaped race. So one side is completely open and one side just has holes. So what I do is the side that is completely open goes into the pocket. So if you're putting it on the blade and the blade's looking up, you just drop it so that that open area, turn you around, I'll show you. That open area like that, where all of the entire thing is open, that goes into the cutout. Now, does it matter? No, not really. But what that does is it helps keep those bearings a little cleaner. It helps keep less gunk getting in, working its way, because the stuff gets in here and then it gets to the pivot and it walks its way up into, and it touches the bearings. Now it's gonna get in there no matter what, but the fact is if you do it that way, it's a little bit less. Now I gotta fucking put this thing back together. It's just one little thing that you can do that, oh yeah, there we go, that's better. I redid the ceramic on this here, well, a couple months ago. I had it apart and redid the ceramic on this and here, because I carry it so much, I'd worn it all off. And then I gave it just a quick tumble, and I have successfully pocket polished these areas shiny, like almost buffer, like it's been on the buffing wheel, kind of shiny. But I had gotten some stuff down in here that had nicked. I think I had something in my pocket that got in there really. No. Yes, they use liquid. They do not do a dry tumble. Who told you that? It's not a dry tumble. They've never done a dry tumble. They have a liquid that they put in it. Dry tumble gets you weird gray nastiness. You don't get as good a result with a dry tumble, anywhere near as good a result with a dry tumble. There we go. That's what I wanted. No, they do not do a dry tumble, and I don't know who said that. So, it wasn't me. I know that. I mean, they've done certain things, yeah, maybe a long time ago, but they haven't done that in years. I know that they'll put stuff in with the liquid. Yeah, that's been a long time ago. They'll put stuff in with the liquid. I've done it too. I've done a tumble where I throw garnet from the bead blast booth in with the tumble medium, and you get a much different finish. But it makes a fucking hell of a mess. They did that when they realized that they, that's still not right. I'm gonna take that thing apart some more. Well, let's try all of our options. I talked about it the other day. It's a T6. Let's tighten everything a little bit. Nah, it's good for right now. I'll just fix it later. I think I'm needing to replace my stop pin or rotate my stop pin. Not sure yet. So, all right, guys. Well, I'm gonna get off of here. I'm gonna go get things set up. It looks like it's starting to stay consistently clear, but I still got a 60% chance of rain. So we'll see how this goes. I may be, if I can do it, I'll do a live feed from out there. But we will see. So I will see you guys later. I'm gonna play with this some more. There we go. That's just rotated my stop pin a little bit. So, all right, guys. I will talk to you later. Take it easy. I'll see you next time. Yeah, always, give them a thumbs up, give them a thumbs down. I don't care if you don't like them. Just try to tell me why, and don't just tell me it's because you fucking hate me. Don't be abusive like certain people. Video YouTube thinks you like. Video I think you like. Instagram link to subscribe, and a Patreon link if you choose. And I don't think I've got the kids GoFundMe thing set up in this video, so I'm not gonna edit that on it. So I will talk to you guys later. Take it easy. I'll probably see you in an actual video that I'm gonna put up and edit later, either